Mama always said life was like a box of dollar cards. You never know what you're going to get. Welcome to the No Banger Sports Card
I heard you.
Podcast,
That is
episode
true.
53. I am joined by Rod from Picking and Punching Cards,
gosh,
Cary
don't
from
joke.
American Arbitrage Cards, and I am Tim from Over the Years Sports. Good to see you
Go,
guys.
look at that.
Cary, you missed it. My wife got called into the office today, so there might be some Camden intermissions here throughout
Well, that's
the
all good.
podcast. But yeah,
He's our fourth host. That's what I say. As soon as he can start talking, he's just gonna.
Did you guys like the baseball picture I sent you guys of him?
I did.
Yes,
was-
yes, absolutely.
I
I
missed
responded.
it, so- Oh, I missed that. Yeah.
He
Oh,
He's a big boy.
He is huge, bro.
what? He is huge,
He's only
Big.
10 months.
dude. He's gonna be a football guy if he wants to be.
So-
He's going to the DR. We're leaving for the DR in 10 days, so should be fun.
Dude,
Awesome.
we're gonna have to jump into this today because we got a lot to talk about, fellas. Man, there's some new scams out there. There's I'm gonna set up a scenario later on for you guys about Topps and them planning to drop their new product, and it's very interesting because let's go back to our predictions for the year. We're gonna talk a little bit more about that, and I don't know if you guys saw about GameStop announced they're closing 300 stores too. So
Really?
that's it looks like they're shifting, they're closing down because they're game focus in those areas, and the big cities are actually reducing down to, reducing the amount of stores in those cities. But what I'm thinking about is because they're going to be switching more and more to cards.
Dude,
So-
have you been into a GameStop lately?
Dude, my GameStop extended from one shelf to now five shelves in there.
For us, for ours in Palm Coast, I would say it's 30% games, and then everything else is whatever. Like they'll
Yeah.
have, Killer Clowns action figures. They'll have, Five Nights at Freddy plushes, tons of cards. I mean, yeah, dude, that might be the first big nationwide card shop. It'll be small, but it works.
I have a couple of breaking news announcements.
Hey, hold on with it. Carrie, try to just your mic. You're getting a little crackle, I think, to it. A little bit.
Okay.
So
Couple
go ahead, Jim.
of announcements here. Dylan Raiola announces his commitment to Oregon.
Ooh, that's a very interesting one.
So if Dante Moore returns, he'll back him up. If that's the case, then he'll take over as a starter in 2027. But an even bigger announcement. Shout out to Gaby, because Gaby tagged No Banger Sports Card Podcast on this one. Our future home of the first ever No Bangers live podcast from game day at Tarleton State University. Braden Locke, former quarterback at University of Arizona, has committed to Tarleton State University. That's
I hate
crazy.
you guys so much. Like the amount.
I'm not
of
making
hatred-
this up, Gaby.
The amount of-
It's
Yo,
real.
you know what, Gaby? I hate you too. Now the amount of hate that goes through my veins, not just for you two idiots, but now for Gaby. Now with this joke has been going on way too long. All right, I didn't play there, never went there. I don't even know where that state, where the code. Carrie left. Good riddance to him too. All right.
Okay.
I'm glad. Hopefully he doesn't come back.
I do have one more announcement to make. One of our big supporters, Mr. Tommy B, aka Solid Gold Sports Cards, is having a show in Miami County. It is the Miami County Cavalcade of Cards, January 31st, 2026 at the Miami County Fairgrounds. There will be a trade night on the 30th from 5 to 8. If you guys are looking to get a table there, they do have 8-foot tables available for $40, $25 for each additional table. So it should be a really solid show. Big shout out to Tommy B from Solid Gold Sports Cards and the Miami County Cavalcade of Cards
actually-
Sports Show.
That sounds actually cheap for a table, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, so if you guys are in the Miami area, check them out. Should be a good show. That is January 31st.
Nice, man. Nice.
Does it sound better, the mic? I tried.
Yes,
to fix
you
it on the
sound
fly.
so much better right now.
Okay,
Absolutely
sorry about that,
there.
guys.
No, you're fine, man. One of the things that we talked. Did we talk about the Harry Potter thing last week?
No, we did not.
Okay, so one of the things that we talked about, I gave you guys a list of big like IPs that could potentially be getting some cards in 2026, and we ran down a list because Topps is really focused on the anniversaries. one that I didn't even think about and crossed my mind was Harry Potter and Upper Deck coming out swinging. First part of the year announced they are releasing Harry Potter cards. What do you guys think about that, man? What's your opinion?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never read a Harry Potter book in my entire life.
Have you read any books in your life?
I've seen one movie, the first one.
Okay.
And that was because my girlfriend at the time was a huge Harry Potter fan. I know this because her instant messenger name was Hermione. Something,
Okay.
Hermione. Yeah, so that's about all I know about Harry Potter. And I know that there's a Gangledorf. Is that a Harry Potter or is that Lord of the Rings?
It's close enough.
Yeah,
I like
we'll go with it.
Gangledorf.
We'll go
Yeah,
with
he was a wizard. Yeah, he was protecting the ring, I believe.
Yeah, so shout out to Harry Potter. And
Sorry,
Harry Potter
guys,
cards.
if I'm having mic trouble. I'm not sure what happened just out of nowhere.
It's because you dropped the mic too much, bro. Now you're
It's true.
damaging
Is
your
it-
mic.
Oh,
clear now?
Cary, you missed it.
better.
Big announcement for the No Bangers.
No, we don't have to talk about this
Game
Tim.
day. You know how we're going to do the live show, Game Day edition at Tarleton State University. Gaby tagged us and said that the quarterback from Arizona announced his commitment transfer portal to Tarleton State University.
Oh wow! Well, congratulations. We should guess what the mascot is of Tarleton State. I'm gonna guess it's like a miniature version of something, like a miniature toad or I don't know, like a
they're the
mini
Texans.
bird, like a parrot, like a caged parrot, maybe.
Empty 6-pack and some used condoms.
What is the
There we go.
mascot?
There we
That's
go.
Rod's time, man. That's Rod, man.
Got my
Ooh.
masters and boobs and beer, right? There you go.
It's the Texan Rider, bro.
Oh,
What is that? What even is that?
the Tartar Sauce State Texas
Tarleton
Riders?
State University's mascot is the Texan Rider.
What is that? That's
Dude,
not a
he-
thing.
It is a thing.
Texas Rider.
Texan Rider.
Texan Rider. Same different,
Is
right?
it like a cowboy or is it just like,
Like a
dude
cow.
on
He's like a cowboy. He's
Oh,
like a cowboy.
He's like a cowboy, like throwing his hat in the air with like raising the front. Yeah.
He's
hold
got
on.
the Yellowstone gloves and everything.
Rod's getting some flashbacks. The flashbacks are kind of like going through the CTE and coming through in the signal.
We're gonna show up to Tarleton State. They're gonna be like, we have absolutely zero record of this guy ever attending school.
I never was there, you idiots. How many times do I have to tell you that? There we go. That's the mascot right there. You can get a button for $3.
There we go.
There you go. There you go.
You just
guys.
buy one from you. You got some buttons, probably.
Well, I saw a lot of people commenting. They want to know where the No Bangers merch is.
Merch coming.
You think No
2026?
Bangers is getting merch, guys?
Yes.
Get a
Absolutely.
blank shirt. Here's No Bangers merch. Get a blank shirt, Gildan preferably. Get yourself a marker, like so, and just write No Bangers on it.
White shirt.
I was talking to you guys about that for the national. I just want like a blank hat, and I want to get painter's tape and write No Bangers on it.
Speaking of No Bangers merch, a viewer, a member of the channel, a big supporter of the channel, has commented multiple times, sent me a message saying that I'm the most responsible out of you guys,
That's
which
fair.
that's fair statement.
I agree.
Yeah,
Disagree.
he said that he sent us some stickers, and there's custom stickers for all three of us. So I got to pick those up from my PO box. Hopefully they are there now, and then we'll have them for the next week's show. We'll check a
Nice,
look at them.
nice.
So I thought that was pretty cool. So also, if
Yeah.
you guys ever want to send us anything, the PO box is down below, and I'll pick it up and then bring it out and give it to everyone else. So we can do that. But
Did
Go
you
ahead,
go to
Tim.
card show this weekend?
I did go to a card show. I went to a brand new card show in about an hour from my house. And I always get, I don't know about you guys, when you go to a brand new card show, do you guys get like leery about going there? Because I saw
Oh,
like
yeah.
Cary said, like,
That's why I
Hey,
didn't
man.
go.
yeah, he's like, it looks like there's gonna be a lot of Pokemon there. And it was a small show. They had half Pokemon, half not Pokemon, but it was maybe 40, 50 tables. So it was a real small show. And it was busy though. It was busy in there. But I will say, like, going forward, I will go to small shows or new shows if I know some of the dealers that are going to be there that I've already bought from the past. So that would always be my backup plan now going forward. So I think that's a good way to kind of look at it. But I did okay, man. I bought some wrestling cards in bulk.
Dude, I bought a rack of wrestling cards this
Yeah.
weekend. You saw the Iron Sheik I
saw the Iron Sheik you bought. Yeah, so I did that. So it was cool. I hung out there. You know, I didn't really find much else. You know, one of the dealers, he's newer to setting up, friends with Big Tom, hooked me up some wrestling and some UFC cards. So I was happy about that. But what about you, Tim? How was your day? I know you bought a lot of wrestling cards.
Oh,
but other
dude,
than that-
I had a the show was packed. It's one of my favorite shows. The one I go to that's once a month in Glen Burnie. Cary met the guys who run that. We dug through their boxes at National, Leo and his brother.
Yeah,
dude, it was the busiest I've ever seen that show. So there was another big show in Virginia that got canceled. So like a lot of people came to that show too, and I mean like that show's always growing though. But I met so many people who listen to the podcast were at that show. A lot of people who watch my content were at that show. Shout out to Jacob, young kid, wanted to take a picture. For me, I love that. And I know like some people probably like who are like content creators or influencers, you know, they probably don't want to take pictures all the time. Me, I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
We striking
I've seen
poses.
I've seen Rod give somebody a noogie once. Noogie. I'm like, dude, what is this? 1993, bro.
Yeah. So like for me, I love that sort of stuff. But yeah, the show was crazy. I ended up picking up 314 cards, and I only spent $200, so I came out at like 62 cents a card, which was fantastic because I found the Platinum Anniversary Red Prism Super Short Print, which is a Blaster Box
this weekend.
Blaster Box exclusive, and which the odds of that are 1 in 801 Blaster Boxes.
I'm actually let me see if I can add it on the screen here. Yeah, because I was very intrigued. Was it what year was that card? That was
2023. And I will tell you.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, are they in every year going forward? Or were they only in that year?
I think so. So there's two of those sort of non-numbered short prints, super short prints from Platinum Anniversary. The Gold Wave or Gold. It's either Gold Wave, Gold Prism, or Gold Lava. I can't remember. But it's the non-numbered gold and this red one. So they're both super short prints. I found the gold one before, and I picked it up because I thought it was numbered to 50. When I turned it over, it wasn't numbered. I did my research, and that's when I found out how hardcore Platinum Anniversary collectors are. And so I saw that red prism. It wasn't numbered. I knew because I was like, I've never seen this red prism before in any of these bargain boxes. So I put it aside. It was in a 25-cent box. And so I posted it to Twitter, and it's been going absolutely bonkers. Like Card Purchaser, I retweeted it on Twitter. It was like the biggest card account on Twitter. It has like over 30,000 views right now. And so people were all the types of different comments on there. Like some people were commenting they knew about it, some people didn't know. Then other people were like telling me like, oh, it's only like a $5 card, a $10 card, and I have to explain to them because like they weren't even researching the right card. And then I just was going back and forth with this guy, and it turns out that there was a sold Shohei Ohtani color match, super short print red prism in November for $60. That's like $1,000 card right now. And so like, if you look at the listing, it just says red prism, doesn't mention short print, super short print, nothing. Like they had no idea. And so like, if I would have known, I'm sure that card probably sold within seconds of being posted because people for Platinum Anniversary are crazy. But like, that's like, it's one of those cards where like, if you don't, I think the highest sold for that year, that prism, red prism, super short print is Ken Griffey Jr. And I think it sold for $470.
Wow.
So like, it's a crazy card. And then I also found super short print George Karlaftis blue retail prism football. So like just between those two cards, like I'm like basically like half my money back on there. And so like it was a good day for me. Like that's it right there. The Chris
Bryant.
Bryant.
Found it. Yeah. So they also have the just the red ones, don't they too? So
they have a reds out of 5.
Yeah. Okay.
But these are non-numbered. So like if you ever come across this, like they are. It's one of those cards where it's like, you know how like in reselling, like people are like, oh, it's a bolo, right? And then your people are like, well, like that's like a once and it's an anomaly find. Is that really a bolo? So like it's hard to find these cards, but at the same time, it's the type of card you will find in a bargain box.
Yeah,
you can extrapolate the lesson though from it though. When you see something that you haven't seen before, like a colorway of a product that you've seen 1,000 times going through bargain boxes, it makes sense to put it aside. I had a similar thing like that happen to me this week too. I'll share in a sec when you're done. But
yeah, so no, it was great. It was a great show for me, and I had a lot of fun. And like I said, I bought a ton of stuff. It was a crazy. I will tell you that it has become more and more difficult to find baseball cards, good baseball cards in bargain boxes lately. I've been doing like my stacks this week were pretty equal between baseball and football, and then like the rest was basketball, wrestling. I bought some Dune cards, some golf cards, some tennis cards, pickleball card. Annalie Waters found one of her cards. So yeah, so it was a nice little mix.
Do you think that, I mean, baseball is going to be coming out, was it for Topps flagship 2026 comes out in what, February? So
it's I don't know if it's that early. I think it's
maybe March.
Yeah, somewhere between February and March, right around spring training.
I want to say it's after Valentine's Day because I think the pre-orders may happen in end of January, if I'm not mistaken. But I could be wrong.
Is there no retail? I was reading something about that. Is there no retail?
We'll talk about that. That's on the thing here. We'll talk about it here in a second.
Bowman Draft drops though this episode, the day this episode comes out, I think.
Bowman Draft 15th
comes out, yeah. And I saw a picture. They have black and gold Bowman Draft first Bowman autos like numbered to like 15. I don't know who's on the checklist for that yet, but I saw the images of them.
They look sick.
They look so sick. But you know how I feel. I'm upset with Bowman Draft because they're releasing it retail, so it's going to take away a ton of value.
Parallels even matter? Like with the Topps Chrome basketball, every day it's like a new parallel. It's like, here's the pizza pie to 17. It's like, at some point,
like it.
Do these matter anymore? I mean, it's fun to open. I get, but does it not dilute the value?
I think over time. I think it will over time. It's funny as I had that debate with me and Tom.
I want a pizza pie to 17, by the way. So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'd love a pizza.
So when I was at Big Tom's stable and some guy came up trying to sell Cooper Flag, and he pulled up comps on Card Ladder, and literally there was like 15 different Cooper Flag parallels like of gold. Like that was just, he went down the list. He's like, hey, this one, this one, this one, this one.
Dodecahedron.
Like it was all over the place.
Well, I will tell you that they did this with Topps with basketball. So like I didn't really notice it because I'm used to there being multiple parallels to the same number of the same color because of Bowman, right? So like, they usually have like a lava, or a ray wave, whatever they're calling it these days, a true, a shimmer, and a mini diamond, all for the same color. But then I got into this argument because somebody was saying like it sucks because with the Topps Chrome basketball, they have multiple out of fives. And I'm like, they've been doing that for a long time. And then he was like, no, they really haven't, because I just automatically assumed that because I'm used to seeing it. And then I went back and I looked at some of the years past checklists for baseball, and I realized that for the lower numbered stuff, they usually didn't do that. They only had one true refractor. And with the Topps Chrome basketball, it's the first time they've done it with that low of a numbered card, the out of five. So, I mean, and that's why the true color refractors always have more value. So, like, if you have an out of 50 true gold, or versus a true gold geometric or gold shimmer or gold ray wave, the true gold's always going to be more valuable because OG collectors want the original refractor colors and parallels over the newer stuff. So I think that's going to be the dilution right there.
We're going through what I would say is like the wild cardification of parallels for Topps. Because wild card, just oh my gosh, I don't even know. Is there a checklist, honestly, on wild card on how many different parallels there are with how many different numberings?
Well, they have it with Leaf some too. Like
Leaf does it a lot, but wild card is the one that I've seen the most of.
And do you know what? I feel bad.
Leaf does it a ton too.
Because every time someone new comes in the hobby, they automatically start picking up a ton of wild card because, like, oh man, it's so low numbered. Oh, I got 101. Those 101 I found. You're like, it's a $4 card. It's a $5 card.
Which I think is stupid to a certain extent that those are so, but it's also good because, listen, if somebody wants a 101 auto of somebody and they can get it in wild card for $40 as opposed to $400 for Topps or Panini, like, it just makes sense. So
I hate to break it to the people who are precious about baseball cards, but based on like how molecules work and such, all cards are one of one. There's no other ones like it. They're all unique and they're all one of ones. I mean, they are.
That's Cary's three
degree
moment of the podcast.
3 degrees right there, dude, and I am using them.
Not well, but you're still using them.
No, I mean, there's a point in there somewhere.
Well, I think we all missed that point. But what you did say that you had a Tim moment this week. So
yeah, well, it was yesterday, but it was from something that was like a couple weeks ago, a pickup. So I'll show you these. These are interesting.
let me make you big.
So I got these maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I'm like, oh, cool. These will be cards that I can post online, right? But you see, that one is black right there,
Yeah.
which threw me off when I was looking at it to post it. And I flipped it around, and sorry, guys, the camera. It's numbered to 25, if you can see it with the lighting.
Where's the
It's
number?
numbered 17
I see that.
17 of 25. And then this one apparently is a black parallel, and it's numbered in the corner. You can not really see it very well, but it's numbered to 99. I got those both for $1 in the dollar box because, honestly, just Freddie Freeman, cool-looking Freddie Freeman cards, right? For $1, I'll pick them up. I've been selling Dodger stuff decently.
What are those? What's the value on those?
It's interesting. Like, I think roughly about 15 and 30, 35 maybe. I mean,
You got the card show?
I paid $1 though, so I'm in the profit. You make the money in the buy. If I sell them for less, I'll still make some good money. So I was excited. Like, always look over your. It's an interesting thing because we are pretty thorough looking over our cards and still miss stuff. So the dealer, maybe they knew that they were numbered. I don't know, but the dealer missed it. I missed it when I bought it, and I didn't realize it till I was about to post it. So that's interesting. I went to Lake Nona though, the Nona Collects card show. You went to Ocala. I decided to go to Nona Collects because I've been there many times, kind of knew what to expect, and there was a couple of like dealers that I work with a lot, so it was a pretty solid show for me. Like lots of 90s stuff that I like.
That's cool.
Parallels, inserts, and a little bit of modern stuff too.
I do think I am going to hit up that show with you probably maybe the next time they do it. So we'll see. I don't know.
The only thing about the Drive Shack, I don't know if it's because the amount of people in there, it's just like a sweat box. Like it's just so hot in there. And that's the toughest thing to get used to out here in Florida for card shows. And I was in Vegas, but
I was gonna say you lived in Vegas. What are you talking about?
No, but casinos in Vegas are very, very. A lot of the shows were in casinos and in things, and the air conditioning's great. And I think also it's not even just the air conditioning; it's the humidity makes it worse out here. There's no humidity in Vegas. It's dry, blunt force heat out in Vegas.
So you just have to deal with the heat here, but there you have to deal with the cigarette smoke and the prostitutes. They had to fight through the crowd to get to you.
Exactly. Like every single thing wants to take your money in every direction.
Now
there's Pokemon machines, and there's people like Rod just like trying to film content in front of him and then complaining when he gets a checklist PSA 10 or something.
Dude, that was wild, bro. Like, I can't believe they had it wasn't a PSA machine, but they had a machine that would literally. It was a vending machine that would.
It wasn't a PSA machine. I missed.
Yeah, but they would literally give you a PSA slab from it. And I got I got like a New England Patriots team card that had a picture of Tom Brady like in the huddle with 10 other guys there and with a referee in the front. And like, oh, there goes my $125 for that piece of garbage.
You guys got to remember those machines are built for only one person to win, and it's the owner of the machines. That
should be me. No, me.
Yeah. Yeah, you should own the machines, maybe. I don't know if you want to
be. Then I would win. All right, I see what you're saying there. Yeah. I see what you did there. But
you can win on an individual buy, but it's gambling.
Well, I mean, are we always gambling though? Like when you buy a pack of cards, we're gambling. It's like buying a scratch off in a way.
Yeah, you don't know what you're going to get inside. That's for sure. 100%.
I mean, that's probably one of the biggest. I'm sure you get this too. We get a lot of hate comments about this is why you should buy singles, blah, blah, blah. And all of every time we rip something on film or a thing. And people don't understand is like the hobby is still fun. I grew up ripping packs of cards. I still want to rip. Even if I want to go out and buy the singles, I'll go buy the singles, but I'm still going to buy boxes and cards because I know I'm probably going to lose along the way, but I want to have fun. I enjoy that. This is something we're supposed to enjoy.
I would rip next to none, probably very little if I weren't doing content about it. So that's just the truth. The content is the driver for why I'm buying a lot of these packs. So that's just how it is.
You wouldn't buy. What would you buy though? Like, would you just buy some blasters? Like anytime maybe we'd go to.
I know you went to the store. It's an interesting thing because I've been doing the content for 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah.
So I'm opening a lot of stuff for the content. If I took away that, what I would probably, I don't know. I don't know if I, at this point, how much I would open at all if it weren't for showing people what they can get inside and stuff.
So let me ask you this: based on everything that you have opened over the years, what do you prefer? Do you prefer hanger box? Do you prefer? Let's go through the list: value packs, hanger boxes, bargain boxes, or mega boxes. I know Hobby's going to be your favorite because we're guaranteed.
Well,
hits in
Hobby's the
those,
one where
but-
you get the most stuff.
Yeah, but I mean,
I hate the whole idea of
retail.
mega boxes, because mega boxes are basically just giving you what was in blaster boxes a few years ago, maybe a few more cards, but you're actually feels like getting less guarantees in a mega box than the guarantees you would have gotten a blaster box 3 or 8 years ago or something. It feels like. So I prefer probably. That's a good one. I'll get old fashioned blaster box probably.
Yeah.
A hanger box is sometimes. For filming sake, since I'm thinking a lot about filming these, I prefer a hanger box or a pack because it's quicker editing. But
Oh yeah, that's true. I didn't think about it that way.
Yeah, so that may, I mean, if you can get me like a Prism, like the new Prism, but it's in the $20 hanger box variety, I would prefer that. It's also cheaper. But,
I did rip a bunch of Prism with my buddies on not filming it.
I like
which
them.
was great.
I like them. Like here's the laser
Dude,
design. They're okay.
I like the design. I like put it up again, show it up again. I like the new design.
The design's great this year.
Like the big name on the bottom. Like I think they did a great job. This might be one of my favorite Prism designs, and the laser's great.
It probably is one of the best Prism designs I've seen as well. And I mean, I think we're all into the design of cards, and we like that aspect of it.
So Tim, since you're back here now, me and him were just talking about kind of what we have, what we prefer to open up. I prefer to open up blasters along the way, but it varies based on kind of what we could find. But that's a good segue into the next segment because, all right, so bear with me for 1 second here because let me kind of lay this out for you guys because I want you guys' opinion on this. So Blowout Cards, one of the biggest distributors of sports cards online, posted this up on their Facebook page the other day. They showed a hobby jumbo mega box, a hanger, a retail jumbo pack. They put what is the Japanese release, and then I forget what is this, a jumbo, or I don't know what that is down there. It looks like maybe a blaster, maybe a breaker box, and then they put this here, Fanatic Blaster. Now, if you look at all these on here, this is the only one right in the center here, at the very top between the two players, that has a Fanatic logo on. None of the other ones do. And they made a post. They said that, are we not getting retail blasters this year? And it got me thinking, could Topps possibly do away with retail blasters in stores? And now, so let me set the scenario for you because I know Tim's about to jump all over this one. All right. So a couple things. One is it possible that Topps is now, granted, Topps does a Fanatic Fest. So maybe this is going to be the special release for the Fanatic Fest. They've done that in the past. Okay. Scenario 2, maybe Topps is going to not sell these in store, but they will raise the price of the hanger boxes to maybe like $15 a pop and only give us the mega boxes. And to do that, when we go to the store, and I will carry, you're probably been in the same situation. If you walked in the store, you want to buy a blaster, they didn't have any blasters, so you just grabbed a mega because that was the only thing that was available at the time.
A lot of times, if all they have is megas, I'm walking on out. I'm taking a picture of it, complaining, and then
walking out. Okay, but you get what I'm saying there.
I'm doing.
And then the other scenario is, are they going to just maybe cut out the middleman, put the other ones in retail, and just release that on their website only and go direct to the consumer?
The Fanatics blasters have been around for years, and those go straight to the hobby shops. So that would completely cut out the middleman, wouldn't it?
Correct. That's what I'm saying. So this is what they posted up. They got this so they can put up pre-orders to their website here. So Tim, what are your thoughts on this? Could we potentially not have baseball blasters in flagship baseball this year?
I mean, at this point, anything's possible. It would be stupid, but I mean, I don't put stupid past these companies anymore. Listen, I told you when you sent me this picture, the obvious situation here is Topps is trying to make up all that money they lost on Topps Chrome Basketball Megas. I mean, that's the only answer I can think of.
Seriously, guys, there's complete shelves full of
Topps Chrome Mega Basketball
Megas. Yeah.
I mean, it's flagship baseball. This is the cornerstone of what Topps is. This is the foundation of Topps is flagship baseball.
But the foundation doesn't have to be a blaster box. The foundation could be hangers in a mega box. That could
I
be
understand that,
sad, guys.
But I'm just saying that's
just
what
thinking.
it is.
Do you ever get sad thinking about how many like Ray Wave, Wendell Carter Jr. cards are just sitting in mega boxes across America right now with nobody to open them and put them in binders?
I mean, could this be part of Topps' evil plan going forward? I mean, we've seen the raised prices on the boxes at the end of last year. I mean, we're paying $85 for a Topps Chrome Basketball Mega Box.
We're not paying that.
Yeah,
Did you pay that?
I
Here's
didn't
the
buy
thing:
any
we
of
can
those. No, I bought
choose
Hobby
not to
Boxes.
pay this crap, guys. We don't have to buy the mega box. Let them sit on the shelves until they get repackaged into tins
I
or
think
something.
the real question is based on how all these products are coming out now with Topps. The real question is going to be the pricing. If you see a seismic shift in pricing for flagship, like Series 1 flagship paper baseball,
They've been pretty good with not.
it's exactly they have, right? But that's what I'm saying is that like that would be the like that would cause great mass hysteria, and like that's what you have to keep your eye out on. As long as they're
So
not.
what would be the line you think? Because right now a blaster was $25, right?
Yeah.
Of
25,
Series
and
1.
then a Mega was $39.99.
I don't think they ever. I don't even remember opening Series 1 Mega.
One thing I
boxes.
noticed with like
Is that a
basketball
thing?
this year that I did like is they had so many different price points though. They had like the 12 card pack that was $4. They even had like a $2 pack or something that was small, I believe, or $3 or something, $3.50. And then they had a $7 pack, a $15 pack. Like if you went to Lids and places like that, they had all the variety.
But
So
I agree with you. I do like that, but is it too much from a business standpoint? I mean, do you start eliminating some of that? Because remember, you're going to be taking on the NFL licensing, so you're going to be producing a ton of more cards in 2026 compared to other ones. So do they crack down, maybe reduce the size of certain products, or maybe release them in certain size boxes? You know,
Well,
I think
that would. It's weird because okay, then why are they releasing Bowman Draft in retail? The Bowman Draft retail thing. I know I keep like doubling down on it, but like that to me is like the biggest curveball that Topps has done. Like the pricing for Topps Chrome basketball, it's not really that of a curveball. It's a shock and awe sort of situation, right? But it's not a curveball. Like top Bowman Draft, the year of what year was that? Bowman Draft 23. They did a Bowman Draft light hobby box, right? Which was very reasonably priced at that time. I think it was like $125 or something like that, $150. And no guaranteed autos, but it had those black and white ray waves in them, which they don't make anymore.
A 2022 box at the local card show in Tampa for like $60.
Yeah, those they would have been way better to just release those at that price point of $150 than they are to put out these megas, which I still don't know how much they're going to cost. Do you remember what they were priced at on pre-sale on the website? It was like $70. 60 or 70.
Which megas for what?
Bowman Draft megas.
$49.99 or $59.99.
Okay, yeah. So it's not too bad. So as long as they keep hangers at like $15 for the flagship and the megas at $50, it's not that big. Who's really buying? Not a lot of people buy retail flagship anyways, like because the hobby boxes are fairly reasonably priced, like $100.
I think they were $89.99 last year. So I think this is, to be completely honest with you, I think the reason why they were able to release Topps basketball at a higher price point for those boxes compared to like flagship baseball and Topps Chrome, compared to basketball Topps Chrome, because it's a brand new product. So they could start out they could start a new baseline for that product from a business standpoint. Because if you want the very first release that Topps has done in over whatever a decade it was, then you have to pay the price, and people did, and that's the case. Now going forward, it's going to be interesting to see if they raise the price on this product. It's going to set the stage across the board going forward for product throughout the entire year. So I think this product is very crucial but here's the thing is they can justify it because it's the 75th anniversary, and they're going to say, oh, you get the 75th.
Here's the one thing I know. I think you're right. This will set the table for 2026 and forward, because this is like the first major release for Topps of the year. And then 3 months after, they'll probably have football coming out because they get the license.
April.
Or they're officially starting in April. So here's the thing. Like, thankfully, we know this, guys, is companies like this don't typically ever increase the prices of anything over time. So we're probably going to be okay. It's probably, it might even go down.
Oh, it's going to go down.
It's going to go up every year until ad infinitum, until we are just trading digital cards via, mind raise or whatever we're doing in 20 years,
It's going to be interesting though, like going forward with everything that's happening this year. This year's going to be a fascinating year for sports. and sports cards, because with Topps taking on football, are they going to start producing less product of baseball? I mean, do they have the hear me out though. Do they have the manufacturer power behind them to produce football products, basketball products, and the boo and everything else they would be doing down the line, and all their new
double down.
How is that Labubu holding up?
I don't know. That's why I brought it up, because I knew it was going to trigger.
I have not even seen a Labubu card.
Because
there's only like 2 in a box.
Yeah, 1 or 2 in a box, but that's why you have it. That's why you're not going to find it anywhere. But I mean, do they have the production power to do these? You think all these different, going forward?
Yeah, of course they do. They're $1 billion corporation, so yeah,
okay,
they'll be fine.
Let me rephrase that. Do they have? Panini is also a $1 billion corporation. I think, well, not $1 billion, but extremely expensive corporation. But do they? Panini also had the production capabilities of doing it, but they didn't do it right. So I guess the question is,
well, Topps isn't doing it right now. I mean, they got let me say this right, because everybody was making fun of me because I said correlation. Coalition
is the proper word.
They have a huge coalition problem right now with their products. So I thought, shout out Boston Card Hunter. He put out a really interesting short explaining why the rigged box thing isn't like, it shouldn't be a thing, and like the laws of probability and stuff like that. And I thought it was very well done. It was sweet and short and very interesting. So like, yeah, they have a problem right now. Like, that's a manufacturing error, but we'll just have to wait and see how things go moving forward. But people are always going to complain. Let me tell you guys, by the way, while Rod looks this up, I'm getting into the Facebook game, right? Follow Over the Years Sports on Facebook, please.
Yeah,
when you have a post that reaches outside of the people that follow you, the comments are insane. So I put up a picture of my of top loaders, of like a handful of top loaders that had magic marker written on it. People were not happy with me that I was upset that people wrote on top loaders with magic markers. The comments are out of this world. People are like, they think I'm there. I mean, I am broke and I am cheap, but like, I didn't say anything about money in the post. I just said, please don't do this.
I still have people complaining about the one touches, man, forever. And
let's see if you guys can hear this real fast. All right.
1 in 88 million.
Can you guys hear it?
Maybe were dice, but they're not. Dice are independent events. Trading cards are manufactured. Cards are printed into sheets, cut into batches, and collated mechanically. It means you can get clustering, especially with particular inserts. These 3 cards weren't even great hits. They weren't superfractors. Even companies operating at 6 Sigma levels of quality can expect anomalies. 6 Sigma doesn't even mean 0 errors. It means a predictably low variance across millions of units. So when you open enough product and you do it on camera, true randomness actually looks messy like this. You get streaks, you get repeats. It's probability interacting with manufacturing. So no, these aren't loaded boxes. It's actually proof of scale and randomness within a system that's working the way it's designed to. And why would Topps intentionally give 3 random debut patches to a breakthrough on the camera?
It's also he also made a point. Where did Rod go?
I don't know.
He also made a point about like everything's being filmed. So we're seeing a lot more of these issues because we're seeing them. They're being filmed now. There was correlation issues, I imagine, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 30 years ago. And the fact that there's so many packs being opened and filmed, we're actually seeing them. And it might give you the perspective or the thought that everything is messed up. But we're just seeing the messed up ones because that's what the algorithm is pushing as well, because it's interesting, right?
Yeah.
I do agree with him to a point, and I hate it. The fact that we end up, people get 15 autographs of the same player and like these boxes and stuff like that, but it happens, man.
I love when it's 15 autos in a box and still you overpaid for the box and still it wasn't even worth the price of the box. That's a bigger problem. We need these premium products. Now, Topps Chrome Basketball maybe isn't a premium product, but like, if you are opening National Treasures or Immaculate or one of those crazy ones, can we just, do we really need like Ruben Sierra autographs in there or whatever? I love Ruben Sierra. Put him in Topps, flagship. But like, shouldn't it all be stars? That's another whole problem.
Yes, and
If you're paying
I
that
agree
price.
with some of that. Well, I mean, there's a lot of things when it comes to like the higher end products, right? Like you get the sticker auto snobs, right? Like people who there's a large portion of the hobby that hate sticker autos, right? And they're like, well, if there shouldn't be sticker autos in like flawless or impeccable or national treasures, and then your Topps Dynasty and all that stuff. All your Topps high end products. There shouldn't be sticker autos, right? Then you're gonna have the people that like, but this is the problem. The problem is people think that they think that they deserve $10,000 cards in every box that they open up. That's not the case. Like I put out as a joke on a post on Sports Card Nonsense. I was like, if Topps and Panini put ROI odds on the outside of the boxes,
they did not like you.
Would you guys be happy about that? And like people obviously took it literal. They're like, how are they supposed to do that? Like, how are they going to calculate the return of investment if they don't know which player is going to be hot when? And I'm just like, obviously this went way over your head, but like you're gambling. Like at what point do people not realize like this is what you're doing?
Well,
if you're not having fun, then you're gambling. But there's people who are doing it for fun, and then there's people who are gambling. That's it. There's no in between area.
I've said it on Facebook too. I've said people want to pay the least amount of money possible. They want to buy everything for nothing, and they want the best card possible in that nothing that they're buying. That's just human nature, right? They want to pay as little for as much as possible.
This is the part that's crazy to me is that like they complain about obviously my post went crazy viral for the laziest take in the hobby is Junk Wax Era 2.0. Because obviously they're completely different things. There's nowhere remotely close to the original Wax Era, right? And then people complain about not getting hits, but then they complain about all the parallels, and then they complain about too many cards being made. So it's like there's no way for you to win. Like if you want hits in everything that you open up, and you want there to be these $10,000 cards, and you want it to be equal or more value of what you paid for the box, those cards are not going to have that value if everybody's getting them, right? Like that's the whole point. Like I don't understand like how that doesn't calculate with people's brains.
We are in the midst of the NFL playoffs right now, and I actually put up a post earlier, and I want to get you guys' opinion on this, because the reason I want to show this here is because we are going to probably have someone who's going to win their first Super Bowl this year who has never won a Super Bowl. So what I have right here is a John Elway card, the PSA 10, and Dan Marino card, PSA 10. They both were drafted the same year, both played pretty much the same amount of games, but Marino has 10,000 more passing yards, 120 more touchdowns. Elway has 3,000 more rushing yards, but they both made 9 Pro Bowls, both won an MVP. The only difference between these two quarterbacks is John Elway's made it to 5 Super Bowls and won 2. Marino's only made it to 1 and lost. So in the big scheme of things, Marino's always been considered, I say, stat-wise, a better QB than John Elway, but yet John Elway's cards sell for 2.5 times more than Dan Marino, both rookie cards. So my question to you guys is, how important is it for this new rookie class right now in the card market for them to win a Super Bowl to justify them to the next level?
First,
are we going to, let you guys take that?
We're comparing apples to oranges here as well, because how many rookie cards does Dan Marino have in 1980?
Bro, this is they both have 1 rookie card, and they're both
how
the
many
same
rookie
year.
cards? How many rookie cards does the class this year have?
A ton, but I mean, we're just talking about the individual players, though. Like, how much is that going to do? Like for Sam Darnold, like if he makes it to a Super Bowl and wins it, like, are we going to see a big increase?
No,
on
Sam Darnold cards are stupid undervalued.
Oh, 100%.
I think the Super Bowls don't. It's interesting because I had this conversation a little bit with somebody on Facebook where, they were talking about how come Jaden Daniels cards have gone down so much, right? And it's because he got hurt and he hasn't been playing. His card value is it's like down like 60-70%, right?
Yeah.
So then they're like complaining about it, and I'm like, well, that's a great time to buy. And if you believe in Jaden Daniels, then you buy him right now. And you hold him, you don't sell, right? But like, look at a guy like Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has won the Super Bowl. His card has been to 2 Super Bowls. He's won 1, right?
Yep.
And so like, and a Super Bowl MVP.
Yep.
But his cards are so low in comparable value to Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert. I'm curious to see what his value is to Jordan Love, because I feel like Jordan Love gets disrespected in the hobby to a certain extent too. Like, so for me, it's weird because does Super Bowls matter into certain players and to other players it doesn't?
That's probably better put. Like Sam Darnold, I feel like would have to go on a historic run of a playoff that was super impressive statistically for him, win the Super Bowl, and then maybe be the best quarterback all year next year before you'd see a real significant bump. In my opinion, that's just a guess. He's just because it's so hard when you were I see this all the time, and you guys do too, especially with quarterbacks who came out the gate hot and then disappointed. There's so many of them, and then ended up being decent later on. Geno Smith was a pretty good example of that. Like he was he was the top quarterback that year because there was no quarterbacks really in 13, I think, really that did anything. And he went all the way down to the bottom, right? And then he slowly came back up, but he never recovered, even though he had some great seasons there a couple years back. I think Jaden's going to have to be great because the thing is to even get anywhere close to what he was before, in my opinion, because
I agree.
There's going to be a new class of exciting players that might be Hall of Fame.
That's the other thing right there. It's like the new thing. Okay, so let's go through it really fast, the quarterbacks right now, right?
Perfect. I was about to do that, so go ahead.
Because I think there's some interesting guys in here. So NFC, Matthew Stafford has already won a Super Bowl.
He won a Super Bowl.
He's a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Except
easily,
the rule.
Right? But his stuff is undervalued.
I agree.
I bet you that every rookie quarterback's Prism 101s are more expensive than Matthew Stafford's rookie 101s.
Do you think that because he played on a horrible Detroit team for so long, that's
maybe, but like Calvin Johnson, Barry Sanders, their cards are super valuable.
That is true.
Barry Sanders played on a playoff team though. They went to playoffs multiple times.
I think it really is something about how I think Barry and Calvin were so cool to watch. They had those highlights. They had that Randy Moss factor that they just seemed unreal at times, where Matthew Stafford, to his own credit, is so smooth and good. Like you almost don't even, you have to be like a football guy to really study what he's doing with he has the no-look passes, which are pretty cool, but you know what I mean?
Brock Purdy, right? Who I think is an overrated quarterback.
I think he's a system quarterback, to be completely honest.
And his stuff, if he wins the Super Bowl, his stuff will still not reach the height of the Brock Purdy hype, because with that Brock Purdy hype, when his stock blew up, the numbers that his cards were doing were astronomical. If he wins a Super Bowl, his cards won't even reach that value. Am I right?
I think the thing that you're missing though, it was the ultimate Rocky story, the Rudy story. It was the underdog. He was the last pick in the entire draft and took his team to the Super Bowl. I think his cards were being pushed because it was the story, just like
also he was a guy that didn't have a million rookie cards.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
If I remember right, that was a fairly weak year at the time when it was happening. There weren't very many quarterbacks. Like I think it was Pickett's rookie year, right? Like there weren't anybody. Nobody was really playing particularly well, amazing out of that group. So Purdy, like the hobby desperately wants every year, right?
So Purdy's cards,
some guys to hype, right? So that they.
But think about how crazy that is. If he wins the Super Bowl, his cards will not get as more valuable than the time he took the Super Bowl.
Adds more value than actual production. It seems like,
yes.
Does it not? Because think about all these all-time greats that are sitting in bargain boxes. You could probably find a Lou Alcindor vintage card in a $10-$15 box early, and then it'd be less than the newest guy who's done nothing in the NBA or in football. It's just how
I will say one thing though with the 49ers, though, the 49ers do have a strong collector fan base, so I would say so that does add a little X factor to it a little bit.
CJ Stroud. If CJ Stroud wins the Super Bowl, his cards won't be worth more money than they were when he was a rookie.
Yeah, I agree.
CJ Stroud is about as am I wrong? He's about as cold as you can get, and he's not bad. I mean, he's been coming on strong,
he's been coming on strong at the end here.
Well, I think he's talking about card value.
Card market. I don't think anybody cares. Realistic.
I will tell you
how often are you hearing people ask for CJ Stroud cards? It's like,
I will tell you,
here's an interesting thing. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I was just thinking of this. Watch some of the the more like hype card focused content creators, like I'm thinking Roth Card,
Yeah.
Roth Cards. Like, is he mentioning, who is he mentioning right now? And who did he mention last year? And who did he mention 2 years ago? You know, because it's just whoever, it feels like whoever the hyped young quarterback is at the time, right? It was Desmond Ritter like 2 or 3 years ago before that. Seriously, like you can go back and you get, well, he sold it to Jeff, which was a great move on his part.
For $30,000.
My point is, next year it'll be like whoever this class is going to be, right? It's going to be Nussmeier and all those guys and Tyson.
Well, Cam Ward, how come Cam Ward never ever took off?
He never had a hype going into the season, though. There's no.
But
hype
that's what I'm saying.
But why? That's a good
because
question.
I think he went to Louisville, then transferred to Miami. Only had 1 year at Miami, and I just think people just didn't have that time to get.
Miami is a flashy, cool school. Like it is,
and he was the number 1 pick overall. And it's not like he played bad.
But because the Titans had the first pick, I think that also played into it as well. The Titans don't have a strong card market. I hate to say that.
But the Falcons?
Mariota was hot 10 years ago. Mariota and Winston, and Mariota was on the Titans.
It's because none of these Roth Cards guys were talking about buying Cam Ward. They were talking about buying Shedeur Sanders.
I mean, but Shedeur Sanders he had more of a social media appeal. There's also, you also go, like we said, we always talk about, like, sometimes it's the story behind it that does it. Like, he had the story with his dad. He had, his brother was also playing. They had the big controversy when they went from leaving the national championship team and was it 1A or 1AA and moved over to
next year
Colorado.
When Shedeur Sanders, if he's starting or if he's playing and he's struggling, who's going to care about Shedeur Sanders cards?
Yeah. Tyler Shough right now is selling probably for more money than Cam Ward.
Yeah, and you couldn't even do anything with Tyler's stuff a month or two ago. His stuff was so down.
Well, let's go back to the playoffs here. What about, here's a good one, Caleb Williams for the Bears. Bears have a strong market.
Caleb Williams cards are going up right after that game. Right now, his cards are probably crazy.
Dude, he scored 25 points in the fourth quarter.
He made some amazing. And listen, there are a lot of people who are Commanders fans dislike Caleb Williams and dislike the Bears, but I'm a huge Commanders fan, but I am a football guy, right? Like, I study the game. I've been watching Caleb Williams since he was in high school. He played here in DC, so it's like Caleb Williams is a very interesting case too, because you have all these idiots who are like, he's crying and he's talking to his mom and he paints his nails, and it's like, you guys have blinders on so crazy. Yeah. Like, you're not gonna buy his cards because he painted his nails. Now look at him; his cards are going crazy right now. Right? He's an electrifying player. He's a polarizing talent. The Bears are in the playoffs. The interesting one of those three, because Drake May, his cards are already through the roof, right? If Drake May wins the Super Bowl, you're going to see he'll probably be the most valuable current player in the NFL right now on the card market. The one of the three of those guys, though, that's the interesting one is Bo Nix.
I agree with you on this one here.
Because Bo Nix is stupid undervalued, because they look at Bo Nix like Bo Nix doesn't really doesn't move the needle like Caleb Williams does, like Drake May does, right?
Yep.
But if you look at Drake May, that game last night, he had some good runs, right? But they scored 19 points, and a lot of that was field goals, and it's like, outside of the big runs, he didn't really do anything. Bo Nix, everybody thinks, his defense carries him and this and that, right? And like, he gets no love right now. I do not know what it is, but Bo Nix,
it might be the fact that he's a few years away from retirement age. That might have something to do with it.
Well, it's interesting. I know we're laughing, right? That's a big thing in baseball. Yeah. Like, if you're a prospect and you're 23 and 20 and 24 and you haven't, and like, you're a high prospect, but you haven't made it, you're not in the major leagues, people frown upon that because they think that you're old for the hobby. Yep. Right?
How many years of eligibility do you have left, Rod, if you wanted to go back maybe to Carlson
Good question.
State,
I don't know.
Maybe like a smaller school?
I would have a couple of years of eligibility left, because I left after my freshman year. I transferred down to the University of South
Lane
Florida.
Kiffin, you listening? He'll walk on.
Shut up.
He doesn't even need a scholarship.
Right. So here's the big one, though, in the playoffs. The big one out there, Josh Allen. Does Josh Allen, his cards are already high in the marketplace. People love Josh Allen. But does he need a Super Bowl win, or is he going to turn into the next Dan Marino?
No, Josh Allen's that's a weird one for me. How is Josh Allen's cards? Tell me why Josh Allen's cards should be worth more money than Jalen Hurts?
I agree with you 100%. I do not, and that's not me being a homer. That's it. yes, his stats may be better passing and other stuff, and maybe rushing, but
Are
Jalen
they
Hurts is
really,
right behind
though?
him. I mean, he has more rushing touchdowns, more rushing
This
yards.
year, because Jalen Hurts didn't run a lot at all this year.
Yeah, he didn't run a lot this year, but still, I'm just saying this goes back to what I was saying earlier. How much do Super Bowls matter? Like Jalen Hurts has those Super Bowls now. This is towards. I'm talking.
That's what I'm saying. Like it doesn't matter. It depends on the player. It depends on the player.
Super Bowl. Is that part of it? Just because, like, if the Eagles won the Super Bowl, that had to have been like a terrible NFL year. Shouldn't even really count.
Well, and the thing is that because they're going to say Josh Allen carries his team and the team carries Jalen Hurts. That's what people are going to say.
Yeah.
That's the difference. So if obviously in that situation, it doesn't. Super Bowls play zero part in the value of those two guys' cards. It just doesn't.
Let me ask you guys both.
Josh Allen could, if the Eagles wouldn't have got eliminated and Jalen Hurts won another Super Bowl this year and Josh Allen didn't make it to the Super Bowl again, Josh Allen's cards would still be worth more money than Jalen Hurts.
Is it a timing thing? Because think about Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen were in pretty much around the COVID time. You know, when the market was going through crazy. So that's what people are going after. They had
Josh Allen was drafted in Josh Allen's rookie card is 2018. Jalen Hurts' rookie card is what, 2020? 2021?
Yes, I forget the
2020 is Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, so
isn't Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow rookie year?
Yeah,
2020.
But you remember he was a backup. He was a backup. He wasn't going to be a starter because of Carson Wentz being there and stuff like that. So like the fact is that we had.
But I thought they liked the underdog story.
They do like an underdog story, but that doesn't happen later on. I'm just saying the underdog story. You know what I'm talking about with COVID, just in COVID in general. I'm saying we had Josh Allen, you had Patrick Mahomes, you had all that stuff go crazy. Lamar Jackson stuff go crazy at the time. Then you also had you shift into Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert and stuff like that. Once that got out, we saw a big dip in the marketplace. Everything else. So are those just on a plateau right now, just for the fact that, or we hold them up higher because of what happened in the past? Do you think that plays a little bit into it?
Well, I guess for certain guys, their cards got so valuable during COVID that even when they dropped, the floor value of those cards was already still higher than now. You don't have that sort of ceiling. Like the ceiling for these guys now are immediate. Like you should never, I don't care what anybody says, and I know Cary will agree with me. You should never hold a card. If you're buying and selling to flip, if you're ripping to flip, you should never hold a card ever.
You should never hold a 1952 Mickey Mantle rookie card. PSA 10.
Doug, if you got your hands on a 1952 Mantle card, how fast would you be on the phone with Golden?
No, just put it underneath my my mattress.
I put it in my 2-row card box to grade.
I guess if you have the money for a 1952 Mantle and you don't need any, maybe in certain situations, I see what you're saying, and that one may go up. But the thing is, like, we see all these highlight reels of people having success, like all these speculator, investor guys having success, and then they'll tell you on Instagram, "Oh, I bought this at this, and it sold at this." And I made money, but they don't show you the other 17 people they invested in that went down. I was
watching the boy from the backyard fools, and he had showing off all his Trey Lance cards, and it's just like
Trey Lance or Trevor Lawrence.
Trey Lance. He bought a bunch of. I mean, I know he's a Jags fan, but he bought a bunch of Trey Lance cards. Trevor Lawrence. That's another interesting one. It sucks that they lost because they really had a chance to make it to the Super Bowl. I think
they really did.
Like for me, it came down to whoever won the Bills Jags game and the Texans. I think that those were your three pretty much favorites to go out of the AFC to the Super Bowl. I mean, I guess if you like the Patriots, I don't like the Patriots. I think the Patriots go up against a good team that they're going to lose, right? But if Trevor Lawrence is a guy who's like his cards, the hype was so crazy. And then his cards value took a massive dip, right? But the problem is, and I talk about this all the time, is that there's too many people who control the market, the card market, that don't know enough about sports. That's a problem for me, right? Because they don't take into consideration that there was a huge problem with Urban Meyer as the head coach in Jacksonville. So like it was it was just a complete and utter disaster there. So for me, that's a big issue with the card market. There's too many people who are manipulating, and I say manipulating because I think that a lot of them are influencers, and they're making the card market move in certain directions that have no business doing that because they don't know enough about sports.
Well, we keep talking about, investing in these players or what players should we pick? What about the people that invested in us? Okay. We have, if you guys do not know, we actually have a membership here. If you guys would like to support the channel for $1.99, you can be part of the bargain box crew. For $4.99, you can be part of the value box. And for $9.99, you can buy a case like me. Now, for those value box and buy case people, you get the podcast a day early. We get a shout out here on the show and access to our secret videos behind the scenes, which we'll be starting to do more of those now in January. But Cary, would you like to give thanks to the people that like to thank us?
I would. I want to give thanks to them. Thank you guys. First off, our bargain box members, Derek Kramer, $15.95. You, sir, yes. We've got Austin. What is this? Austin Ardinger, $25.75. I love you, man. We've got P Bird Sports Cards. You know who you are. I love it.
P Bird.
We got Yam Starch. Yam Starch in the building. Yams have starch, right? I think that is correct. So you were right. Anatomically, I don't know what the word is for that. The tank with an A, the tank 211, chubby Uncle Rico, which I sometimes get called when I walk down the street. We've got value box members. This is the $4.99 level. We got Lodi Sports Cards. Shout out Lodi. We've got Brown Jordan. We got Shaky, 1994. We've got Lax in Philly or LAX in Philly. We got Bago. Craig, what's up, dude? And we got
Big Guy of Horror. Bago.
Big Guy of Horror. I didn't even know.
Yeah, that's what BGO.
I just call him Bago all the time.
Bago.
Mr. Magoo. We've got Chrono Rig, and then we got the buy a case. We got the high rollers. We got the people coming in here like into a card show like Rod, blind to what if it's a good deal or not. He just wants to spend money, and we appreciate these kind of people. And we thank you. We got Todd. Todd is so I'm so stressed out about every week about Todd because I still don't really understand what we're doing wrong with his name. But I'm going to say Todd Cart, 1971, or Todd Carte if it's French. Once again, you probably explained this 70 times. Todd, we love you. And you're a special part of this. AEW Cards. Is AEW sponsoring? Are they members?
It's supposed to be AECH, but my phone auto corrected to AEW because
you're such a wrestling nerd.
It's such a
so what is it?
About a mark.
What is it again? Sorry.
AECH Cards.
AECH Cards. We appreciate
I just realized
you.
it. Yeah.
Flip 316 says he's buying a case, folks, and we appreciate it. We got Vintage Sports Flips with an S. Keith out there saving koalas as a veterinarian, we've heard, allegedly. Buster Chestnut, what's up, dude? The stand-up comedian of sports cards. We got sports cards with Chef. We got the Chef. How you doing? West Coast in the house. Neon Penguin. Need I say more? Neon Penguin. Cardboard Bambino. That's a good name. That is a good name. Where Yin's at? Yin's are they from like Pittsburgh? Is that what Yin's means? Okay. Yep. So you're in Pittsburgh is my guess is where you're at. Big Tom, Sports Cards. What's up, dude?
And the new one, new member.
We got DZ Money, 1167.
Awesome, man.
It's DZ Money. We appreciate you.
With that being said, guys, I think it's time for us to wrap this show up today. We get a little shorter show, but don't worry, guys. We'll be back next week with another no banger episode. But so Tim, you want to get in here?
All right, no bangers on 3, everybody. 1, 2, 3. No bangers.
No bangers. You better yelled it